come back to football, but we're going to turn our attention now to boxing. And welcome the chairman of Matchroom Sport, Eddie Hearn, joins us. Eddie, hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, gents.
How are you, man? Are you good? Are you well?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Where do we... Oh, you can see you now in the back of a cab. I think it looks like a cab. Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you up to in the world?
I'm outside a restaurant in Mayfair, which I actually completely forgot about this interview. And I just sat down to have a drink, and then the FaceTime come in, so I had to leg it outside. Now I'm sitting in the car. I'm back from Vegas. We had a show there and a show in Nottingham last weekend, and then we got a show at the O2 this Friday on the Zone. So busy ahead of a couple of big nights coming up as well. Catterall, Barbosa, the big Saudi show, Feb 22nd, Eubank, Ben, flying.
Well, listen, firstly, thank you for taking our call and going back into that car and coming out the restaurant. It's very kind of you. Let's take one of those first, and let's talk about, where should we start? The weekend's event at the O2 at the Indigo. Tell us a bit more about that. What can we expect, Eddie?
Yeah, so it's a next-gen shit series. So it's Friday night, and it's basically, we run these series. It's kind of like the future stars of British boxing, but they step up in championship fights. So George Liddard, the Billericay bomber, close to my heart, down the road from me, 10-0. He's in a big fight. And then Janae Boston as well steps up. He's 10-0. He fights for the English title. So it's kind of like the rising stars of tomorrow. It's an arena in the O2, holds about 2,000, completely sold out. And the Next Gen series, just a chance for the young generation to break through onto the bigger shows.
Love that. Eddie, I've got to ask you about Jack Catterall. Obviously, he's fighting on the 15th of February, Arnold Barbosa. I don't think he's been stopped in his career. Do you think this is probably the biggest challenge that Jack's faced so far in his career?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think Catterall is pound for pound, arguably the top fighter in Britain right now. I mean, he's gone through Jorge Linares, Josh Taylor, Regis Prograis. Now he's fighting Arnold Barbosa. That's for the interim world title. But with Teofimo Lopez moving up, could actually be for the full world title. So Feb 15th, Co-op Live up in Manchester. Catterall's on a great run.
We can't talk to you, we can't talk boxing without talking about AJ. What is the latest? Where are we up to? Are we going to see him fight soon? Maybe Dillian Whyte or Deontay Wilder again? What are we up to with that?
I think May, June, realistically, camp's about to start again. Obviously, you've got the big Dubois Parker fight coming up. Yeah. Feb 22nd. He'd love to fight the winner of that. Let's see what happens with Tyson Fury. Other names in the pot is Martin Bakole in Africa, potentially. Deontay Wilder, if he wins his upcoming comeback fight, the Zhang Caballal winner as well. So plenty of options, but of course, Tyson Fury and the Dubois Parker winner remain number 1 and 2.
Just quickly going back to we'll see what happens with Tyson Fury mean? Well,
look, I think he's retired many times before. The difference here is he's coming off 2 defeats. So maybe it is his time, and if it is, best of luck to him. But I just can't imagine, I saw a picture of him, I think at Disneyland with all his kids. I just think sooner or later, after a couple of months at home, you go, right, I'm really not leaving me v AJ on the table, am I? It's not like he's a shot fighter. He performed very well in the Usyk fight. He's still arguably number 2 heavyweight in the world. So, for me, I just hope it happens. If it doesn't, there's nothing we can do about it. We wish him all the best. I just feel, my gut feeling is he will be back.
Eddie, is that who you want to see AJ fight next? I know, obviously,
yeah, cool. There's he's done everything else, Darren. Look at his resume. Like, he's fought everybody. The only fight that he wouldn't have fought, and we signed to fight him, was due to announce it in 2 hours, was the Deontay Wilder fight. That's the only fight. If he fights Fury, he's fought them all. And it's the biggest fight in boxing. Yeah. And, it's just one that I'm sick and tired of getting stopped down the street. When are we going to see AJ against us? He's retired now. Oh, what? It'll just be a shame if those two never get in the ring.
It will be. I want to get your view on this. On Talk Boxing, the guys discuss AJ and the fact that he's not thinking about a potential fight with Daniel Dubois. Have a listen to what Johnny Nelson had to say on the situation, Eddie.
You seem to be adamant that this fight, it makes no sense to me. There's too much risk for Anthony Joshua. He gets cleaned out by Bakole. He's got nowhere to go.
Totally understand
nowhere
that.
to go.
I totally understand that. But at some point, the fight has to happen, and that is the fight.
Well, it doesn't, does it?
Happens.
Why does it have to happen?
Why does it have to happen?
I've just got one question. Why has everybody forgot about Daniel Dubois? Why is nobody talking about, well, what about...
we're going to talk about him, don't worry about that.
Why is AJ not saying, or Eddie trying to push for that? Why all of a sudden that injury, what stopped the rematch straight away, is all of a sudden all right for fighting somebody else?
I agree.
What do you make of that, Eddie?
It doesn't make any sense. Well, I mean, the injury that stopped him fighting in February is now all right for him to fight. I mean, he won't be ready to fight till May or June. So we had the opportunity to fight Dubois in February. He wasn't ready. He couldn't have had a full training camp. That's all. AJ's desperate to fight Daniel Dubois, and AJ makes the decisions. He is the boss. We put the options on the table. He will decide. If you tell him, he would like to fight Tyson Fury. But other than that, Daniel Dubois rematch. Not even the Daniel Dubois rematch. The World Heavyweight Championship. I think Parker's going to beat Dubois.
Wow.
Do you really?
I do. I just think the style matchup for Joseph Parker is very good in that fight. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah.
But I really fancy Parker's chances in that fight.
Do you think we'll see that performance from Daniel Dubois again anytime soon?
Yeah, look, styles make fights.
Yeah.
AJ fought a poor fight, but Daniel was brilliant that night. He's very strong. He's young. His confidence, which has eluded him in the past, is now firing. And he's a very good heavyweight, and he punches very hard. You get hit on the chin by him, you're going to know about it. And that's the beauty of heavyweight boxing. But styles make fights, and I just think Parker's very durable. He's got good movement. He's got a great engine. And if he gets through the first 5 or 6 rounds, I think he's a big favourite in the fight.
Okay. Listen, before I let you go, just a very quick word about Katy Taylor, Amanda Serrano. Are we going to see that trilogy? If so, where could it take place?
I think so. I mean, there's probably 2 things that Katy hasn't ticked in terms of the boxes of her career. One is Las Vegas and one is Croke Park. So, I think the Amanda Serrano trilogy makes sense off the back of the huge viewership on Netflix. And if we could do it in Vegas or particularly Croke Park, it would be a fantastic way to maybe end her career. She's the same as AJ. 2025 could be the last year for both of them.
82,000 at Croke Park. That'd be some crowd, right?
Incredible.
Yeah, that will be. Listen, Eddie, I know you mentioned that we stopped you having dinner tonight. I do apologise. Thank you for that. I'll let you get back to McDonald's now, but I appreciate your time.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, man. How nice is that, Eddie Hearn, coming on?
When you said taxis, well, you should have back a look at that. No taxis.
I know that.
I saw a couple of R's on the back of the seat. A couple of R's on the headrest.
Do you know? I was just thinking that, right? You've made it, right? And he obviously has. When you go for dinner in Mayfair and the car's waiting outside for you.
When you said taxi, honestly, I saw a couple of R's behind his head, and I thought, all right.
Yeah.
And some taxi that.
Yeah, one of them weren't for Renault. When we come back, we'll have some fun with the end of show quiz.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.